we were talking about the Michael Jackson trial and how biased the media was. One of the things that was puzzling to me during that trial, and it should have puzzled some of you, you never, hardly ever saw a single day where they would come out, I mean the national TV media, and say, oh, it was a fairly good day for Michael. No, it was always, Michael's accused, Michael's accused, Michael's accused. Oh, this and that. Oh, they said this and that. Well, what they didn't report is the defense would come in and just rip to shreds, just tear those lying witnesses and those grifters from the Arvizo family, rip them to shreds. The only one moment I had a shred of doubt that Michael Jackson might not be found innocent was the first witness, which was Gavin Arvizo's sister. When they started talking and they brought this up, oh, she's been a Girl Scout and she wants to be an actress and she's doing, you know, all these kind of things. That very first witness, Gavin Arvizo's sister, older sister, I thought, oh my God, if they're going to parade a bunch of Boy Scouts in here and Girl Scouts and say, you know, Michael did this and that to him, this is going to be a tough trial for Michael. But it turned out what that really was, that was their very best witness. And she didn't see anything. And she basically testified that she and her brothers had played on Michael Jackson's big bed in the lower bedroom bed. See, Michael had a two-tiered bedroom. He had a big bed lower, and then he had little stairs that went up to a more private bedroom. And they would all play and watch games and play video games on this big bed in the main bedroom. And then when the kids would fall asleep, he would tiptoe up to the top bed where he could sleep in peace and not have kids rolling over and poking him in the eye. Yeah, I speak as a father that tried to sleep with my own children in the bed when they were scared and they were young, you know, and you don't want them to be scared, so you let them fall asleep in bed, and then about 2 hours later they roll over and hit you in the elbow or hit their elbow in your eye or something. You wake up with a black eye. So I was one of those dads that let my kids fall asleep, and then as soon as they're asleep, sound asleep, I'd carry them over and put them in their own bed just so I could sleep. And Michael would just tiptoe up and leave them in the bed. Well, Michael could afford a double bedroom. What is strange now happening is, since I have pointed out to people that you can set aside the statute of limitations on Michael, on the prosecutors, Tom Sneddon, Ron Zonen, Gordy Auchincloss, you could set all that aside because, ladies and gentlemen, there was fraud in the inception of this trial. There was fraud during the trial. There was fraud in the fingerprint evidence and fraud in the phone evidence, and all that is laid on the court record, on the official transcript, of which now hundreds, if not thousands of people have copies. So it would be very difficult for the court to alter the court's official copy and nobody notice. This is not going to be like William Christopher's kangaroo trial that he never got after 5.5 years locked up in San Jose, till I went up there and did an in-jail interview and got William Christopher out of there. No. I believe quite firmly that if you look at countygrandjury.org, it will be clear that we the people, we the people, not the prosecutor's office, not the presiding judge, not the legislature, we the people outside of government have the exclusive domain. Now we've let the prosecutor's office run the grand jury for years, but if you read your Constitution, we the people have the power to form that constitutional, completely lawful grand jury. And we can set aside the statute of limitations on these felonies committed against Michael because There was fraud by the very officers who were supposed to uphold the law, enforce the law correctly and properly. Instead, they committed felonies. Now, I said that 5 years ago. One of the other things I said 5 years ago, and you ought to be asking yourself, why didn't the national media, why didn't somebody, because believe it or not, the media was watching my show here in Santa Maria at night when my show aired, and they'd go back to the motel room, they'd flip the channels and see what the other networks were reporting about the trial, and they were all sort of going the same direction. Looks like Michael's guilty, looked like Michael guilty. I alone was going the other direction saying, looks like a good day for Michael. He won today. I have a little clip here I want to take you to. It's very short. But you will see, I said it was a good day for Michael, and you never heard that from anybody else. Watch this. I said this. This is a 5.5-year-old video from my show back in 2005. Well, that's my own footage of Michael Jackson, on second thought footage of Michael J. Jackson coming out of court after a really good day.
When a hero comes along with the strength to carry on.
That's the same clip you can see right now on YouTube. It's up there, people. And here's the interesting thing. Tens of thousands of Michael Jackson fans and fans of what I like to call true justice are tuning in to my YouTube channel, William Wagener on YouTube, and they're writing me hundreds of messages, private messages, and they also want to see Tom Sneddon indicted. Hot dog! Now that's what I call real justice. Indict the felony committing prosecutors, whatever county they're in, whatever county. But here in Santa Barbara County, California, where the Michael Jackson 2005 Inquisition took place, that wasn't a trial, people. It was an inquisition. It was a get Michael at all costs. Because right at the end of the trial, at the very end of the trial, wow, at the end of the trial, the prosecutor manipulated the changing the words just slightly, ever so slightly, changed the words and included lesser included misdemeanors, hoping the jury would throw him something, throw them a bone. Here's one little guilty on a misdemeanor. But by then, the jury had seen Janet Arvizo get caught in her lies, Gavin Arvizo caught admitting Michael gave him a magazine called Barely Legal 8 months before the magazine had been printed. I mean, it's a total impossibility. By the time of that long, dragged-out trial, so what was the point? What was Tom Sneddon, Ron Zonen, Gordy Auchincloss, and Magna Cola, the four principal culprits, and I call them the unindicted felons, yet to be indicted by a grand jury? What should we do with them? Should we just say, oh, that's okay, we'll just give them a free pass and let them scoot on by? Because after all, they work for us. We don't want to admit that we have criminals in office. No, that wouldn't be good, would it? Oh, no. But if we don't indict them, and we let them get away with the murder, yes, for the first time, I'm saying you can track the murder of Michael Jackson back to the 2005 trial. This is why I say it. Had they not stressed Michael out so completely, had they not badgered him, spent 2 or 3 days on his finances, which had nothing to do with molestation. They just wanted to make public all his finances so his enemies would know just how to attack him.